There is a strange kind of freedom, quiet yet powerful, that appears the moment we decide to stop trying to control everything. That is the instant we cease clinging to the what-ifs or the could-be-worse scenarios, and suddenly life begins to move. Anxiety, with all its noise and urgency, is merely a cage constructed of shadows. It keeps us trapped in a future that does not even exist, quietly stealing the calm and strength we inherently possess. In modern society, we are taught that control is the key to security. We control our time, our careers, our relationships, and attempt to mold every outcome to our will. But the ancient wisdom of Buddhism, gentle yet persistent, pulls back the curtain on the truth. True strength lies not in gripping tightly, but in opening up. Strength lies in relinquishment, not giving up, but in trusting. It is the sacred admission that we cannot use individual will to shape every single moment, every person, or every outcome that unfolds. Relinquishment in this philosophy is not weakness, but a divine act of liberation. It is the art of doing what we can do and then stepping back with complete faith, allowing karma and the natural flow of life to unfold freely. Imagine trying to hold water in the palm of your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster the water slips through your fingers. But if you hold your hand loosely open, the water stays or at least flows through gently. That surrender, not passive, not careless, but simply open, is the quiet confidence whispering, "I have done my part. Now I trust life to meet me halfway." When we stop over-interfering, amazing things happen. Energy returns, the mind clears, we begin to notice opportunities we were too anxious to see before, and help arrives from unexpected places. Life begins to work with us, not against us. Fear, according to Buddhist teaching, is not just an emotion. It is a seed and a lens. The energy you carry inside becomes the world you perceive outside. The more you look through the lens of fear, the more distorted and warped your reality becomes. The irony here is this: when you deeply fear something, you begin to live as if it were already true. You unintentionally breathe life into the fear itself. Imagine you fear losing your job. That fear permeates every action. You hesitate, self-doubt sets in, you pull back. That anxiety blurs your judgment. You may start withdrawing from important projects, and unintentionally, you drift toward the very outcome you dread. The same holds true in relationships. The fear of abandonment can cause us to cling or suspect excessively, and that very tension can push others away. It is not fate working against you, but fear working within you. Buddhism teaches that the mind is like soil. It does not judge what you plant. Whether you sow seeds of fear or seeds of peace, the mind will help them grow. But you are the gardener. You choose what takes root. This does not mean pretending everything is perfect, but shifting your attention away from panic and toward presence. When fear arises, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me build peace or feeding panic? You are not helpless. You are the architect of your internal landscape, and when the inner world changes, the outer world begins to reflect it. Let go of the fear and watch life begin to soften, open, and flow in ways you never suspected. Buddhist wisdom reminds us of a simple truth. Worry cannot exist in the present moment. It lives in the projections of the mind, what might happen, what might go wrong, what we fear is coming. But none of those things are real. They are just a movie playing in the future. When you feel anxious, recognize where your mind is. It is racing ahead, building narratives, spinning scenarios, dragging you into a world that doesn't exist yet, a world of if-onlys and maybes. And while you are there, you miss the only place where life actually exists. Right here, this moment. This breath is your home, and in this space, you are okay. You are breathing. You are steady. You are enough. Buddhism calls this mindfulness, the gentle act of returning to the present. And every time you return, you weaken anxiety's grip, because in the present, nothing is chasing you. No future is terrifying, only this quiet moment where life is unfolding one breath at a time. The mind may roar, but the present moment whispers, and the more you listen, the more you realize peace is not something you have to search for outside. It is already within you, buried beneath the noise, just waiting to be remembered. The vast majority of what weighs on our minds has never even happened. The biggest source of anxiety is often not reality, but imagination. We worry, stress, and lose sleep over scenarios that never play out. We carry fears like invisible stones in a backpack, dragging them through the day, even though most will never materialize. Why does this happen? Because the human mind is a relentless novelist. It endlessly scripts what-if situations, painting vivid pictures of problems that do not yet exist and may never emerge. It warns us of disasters, heartbreak, and failures that live only in thought, not in the present moment. Think about how many times you braced yourself for a difficult conversation that turned out fine, or feared the worst about a situation that eventually resolved itself smoothly. The storm rarely arrives exactly as we imagine it, and often it does not arrive at all. This is the trap of worry. It distorts scale, bringing far-off fears so close that we start reacting to the illusion as if it were fact. Buddhism teaches us that just because a thought appears does not mean it is worthy of belief. The mind can create stories, but we do not have to live inside all of them. So the next time you find yourself spiraling into anxiety, pause and gently ask, is this actually happening, or is this just a thought? You will often realize you are fighting shadows, not substance. Freedom begins when we return to this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Let the imagined fears dissolve. What is real is often much gentler than what we fear. And when you stop living in the mind's projections, life begins to feel much lighter, clearer, and more peaceful. This is a difficult yet deeply liberating truth. You cannot simultaneously white-knuckle the steering wheel and trust that the road will carry you. Buddhism reminds us that control and trust are like two travelers heading in opposite directions. The tighter you grip control, the further you drift from trust. And the deeper you trust, the more you must let go. Trying to micromanage every detail of your life is like telling the universe, I don't trust you to take care of me. It is a subtle but powerful form of fear. The fear that without your continuous oversight, everything will fall apart. But has that control actually brought you peace? More often, the harder we try to dominate the outcome, the more we are entangled in worry, tension, and fatigue. Control might offer the illusion of safety, but it is often fueled by a silent panic underneath. Trust, on the other hand, is not passive, it is powerful. It whispers, I have done what I can. Now I trust the unfolding. It allows you to act without being enslaved by the result. It welcomes mystery and trusts the timing you cannot control and the outcomes you cannot yet fully understand. You act with intention, but you surrender the obsession with how things must go. It is like planting a seed in the soil. You water it, you nurture it, but you do not pull it up to rush its growth. True growth requires faith in the invisible roots. Ask yourself, are you gripping so tightly that you forget how to breathe? Are you trying to force a future so hard that you stop trusting the silent intelligence of life? Letting go is not giving up. It is how you begin to grow. Anxiety has a quiet way of narrowing your world. It starts subtly. A few cautious thoughts, a bit of over-planning, a fear of what could go wrong. You tell yourself you are just being careful, but over time, that carefulness becomes a cage. You start shrinking without realizing it. You shrink your goals because they are too uncertain. You shrink your voice because you fear judgment. You shrink your heart because you won't risk getting hurt. Worry does not protect, it restricts. Instead of walking in freedom, you become rigid and vulnerable. Relinquishment is expansion. It is courage. It invites you back to the present moment where life is actually happening, not in the what-ifs, but in the right now. Ask yourself, how much energy do you spend every day worrying about things you cannot control? What if you poured that energy into creation, connection, and trust? When you stop trying to force life into your mold and begin to merge with its rhythm, the beautiful thing happens. You feel supported by something larger, by the natural intelligence of existence itself. Letting go is not weakness. It is the courage to stop shrinking and start living with an open heart. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked truths in Buddhist teaching is this: life works best when we stop trying to control every centimeter of it. The more we interfere, the more resistance we create. The more we cling, the more we invite chaos. But when we learn to step back not from neglect, but from a position of deep trust, the extraordinary begins to happen. Life moves itself with a wisdom far greater than all our planning. That constant intervention creates friction more than flow. It drains energy, blurs clarity, and leaves us exhausted from trying to manage what was never ours to manage in the first place. Like a natural stream finding its way through the landscape, your life can navigate itself if you stop blocking it with fear and control. Think of all the times you tried to force something to happen: a relationship, a job, a decision, only to watch it fall apart or backfire. Then think of the moments when you surrendered, took a deep breath, and let things be, and they worked out surprisingly well. Your anxiety, your control, your constant mental gripping are like rocks you throw into the stream. They disrupt the flow. But when you remove the obstacles, the water flows smoothly again. Life is the same. Intervention does not make life safer, it makes life harder. It turns possibility into pressure, and in your attempt to control everything, you often close the door to better outcomes that would have arrived had you just allowed them to. Imagine holding a delicate butterfly in your hand. If you squeeze your fingers shut for fear of it flying away, you will crush it. But if you relax and open your palm, it might stay longer or come back, even if it flies away. Your goals, your relationships, your peace of mind, they all need space to breathe. The more you try to own them, the more they slip away. The more you allow them space, the more naturally they begin to thrive. Fear is often the root of our need to interfere. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of not being good enough. But the deeper truth is that life does not demand perfection from you. It demands trust, a quiet, steady faith in the unfolding of your path. You do not have to be the director of every scene. Sometimes, you just need to play your part and let the story reveal itself. Take a moment to reflect on one area where you are interfering too much. Is it a conversation you endlessly rehearse in your head, a decision you are forcing for fear of waiting, or a goal you are suffocating with constant anxiety? Ask yourself, what happens if I loosen my grip here? Not out of laziness, but out of deep trust. The moment you let go, life has room to move. It begins to rise to meet you in ways logic cannot explain. That is when synchronicities appear. That is when grace enters. That is when you feel carried not by your effort, but by something greater than yourself. You do not have to figure everything out. You just need to take the next step, breathe deeply, and surrender the illusion that your control is what keeps the world turning. Let today be the beginning of a new way of living. Release one worry, trust one unknown, and allow life to bring you something better than what you could force. Because when you stop pushing, you start receiving. When you stop interfering, life truly starts working not against you, but with you. Life is not a battle to be won. It is a dance to be joined. And the harder you try to control it, the more you miss the grace that arises when you trust. Buddhism does not ask you to abandon responsibility or stop caring. It invites you to let go of the burdens that are not yours to carry. It asks you to soften your grip, release the fear, and allow space for life to unfold in its own mysterious and beautiful way. So as you move forward, remember, You do not need to fix everything. You do not need to fight the current. Your strength lies in harmony, not control. Take a breath, trust the timing, and know that when you stop interfering, you step into a life of deeper clarity, peace, and purpose.